Top five. Top five. Top five. Top five. What am I gonna do, R2? I feel like I've kind of blown my load the last couple of weeks on the Batman v Superman top five and the Civil War top five. Kind of out of ideas. What was that? Anyone here? Hello? Well, that was weird. Plus, when I close this. Hmm. What? What? What's your diet? Four, don't you think? I mean, I guess I could stand to lose a few. Well, the E and the T, they were pretty close together. I don't know. I think it kind of killed the moment. Who are you, anyway? I thought you died years ago. Okay, I'll do it. Let's start the trailer. Okay. I think I know what I need to do now. Hello, everyone out there in YouTube. This is Hawkflame, and welcome to another episode of Top 5, the Ghostbusters remake. A lot of fear has been raised since this new trailer was released a few days ago. It's become the most downvoted trailer in YouTube history. Men's rights activists complaining about casting, AVJ being called a sexist prick, Facebook shitstorm, Twitter shitstorm,
human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
And I think Basically, it's been a giant shitstorm. And I frankly think it's about time that everyone kind of took a step back. And that's why I'm bringing you the top 5 things to keep in mind when it comes to the Ghostbusters controversy. Now, before I continue, there's kind of a lot of dickish behavior going on this subject, and I can't really avoid it here, but I really want to keep my channel as classy as possible. So I brought in a bit of a countermeasure here. Yeah, it's a TARDIS, but otherwise I'm not really sure what to call it. The Dr. Dialer, the TARDIS teaser, the insert your Doctor Who reference here. I don't know, but that's besides the point. But watch what happens here. See, I'm about to do something douchebaggy. My green screen doppelganger is a total colossal dickbag. Hey! Now watch.
Beg for more. I'm gonna spread my wings and done a have you met the French?
See, isn't this channel so much nicer and classier after seeing a Doctor Who clip? So there you go. For all forms of assholery and douchebaggishness, the whatever. Anyway, my top 5. Number 5. It's just bullshit, politically correct, social justice warrior, feminazi casting bullshit. Listen, to all the men's rights activists out there, I get it. I get where you're coming from, man. You've kind of gotten the bad shaky left few. But you're doing yourself no favors here when you're using words like feminazi and social justice warrior. I mean,
How do we do that?
Oh, I'll think of something.
You're just making this up as you go along.
Yep. But I do it brilliantly.
there. See? Better. Anyway, you're kind of losing the argument when you do that, you know? Speak rationally, guys. I mean, a lot more people are going to come to your side if you stop throwing out words like that. Secondly, yes, they made a conscious decision to make it all women. So what? Casting of Star Wars Episode 7 was made with diversity in mind, with a female lead and a black lead as the two main actors. And did it make it any less awesome? No, the movie kicked ass. And, well, if it did make it somehow less awesome for you, well, why are you so preoccupied with this? What, there aren't enough blockbuster action movies starring white male leads? I mean, there's so few for you to choose from here. I mean, really, as long as the actors fit their roles, does it really matter how they came about it? Also, any of you watch the Justice League animated series? Any of you like, Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, and Hawkgirl in there? Guess what? They were basically diversity casting hires too. Yep, they were there in place of Hawkman and Hal Jordan, and Bruce Timm himself even said so, that they were there for diversity purposes. Really, as long as the actors are good, kind of doesn't matter how they came about it, man. Number 4. Hating this movie is sexist. Okay, the aforementioned political correctness casting argument is bullshit, but you know what? This is even more bullshit. Because aside from that argument, I have no idea where this is coming from. Maybe I'm just blinded by the patriarchal, misogynistic, rape culture society I'm living in, but no. Aside from fanboyistic ranting and raving and, again, the PC crashing bullshit, all I'm seeing at the core of it is because people really don't want to see this movie. With more colorful language than that, but hey, that's what it boils down to. And you know what? They usually give you reasons, and they're pretty good reasons. They may mention things like the quality of the effects, the humor, the production value, the effect on the legacy of the Ghostbusters, things like that. Again, with more colorful language. There are plenty of people out there whose disdain for this movie has nothing to do with gender. Take James Rolfe, the AVGN, for instance. He recently put out a video that's really cut a lot of shit, explaining why he's not going to review the new Ghostbusters movie. And agree or disagree with the reasons, none of them are about gender. He mentions gender once in the context of how to identify the film as opposed to the original 1984 film, because since they have the same name. The rest of the reason has to do with his fandom for the original film or the dislike of the trailers of the new film, which agree with him or not, again, have nothing to do with sexism. And people on Twitter are raking him over the coals on this.
It's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
It's insane. I really have to question whether or not any of his critics actually saw the video. If you want to knock him for his fanboyism or something like that, that's... I disagree with it completely, but at least it's coming from somewhere that I could see it. But sexist? But what if he and other fans are being subconsciously sexist? Well then, congratulations, people. You know what you've done? You have now made it basically so that any production that is prominently featuring or prominently made by women is now beyond reproach. If you're talking about subconscious sexism, then where there's no obvious sexism there, any complaint can be sexist. Really, anything. And yeah, maybe James was speaking in some kind of coded sexist language. But please, give me the cipher for that code because, again, as I keep repeating here, I don't know what you're talking about. Now, does subconscious sexism exist? It probably does. I don't doubt it. But you know what? There is some evidence for it existing. So produce some evidence of James Rolfe actually being sexist here. Otherwise, you guys are completely nuts. No ad hominem attacks. Now this goes beyond anything I mentioned so far in my first 2 points here. I've heard some people call each other pretty nasty things over this whole issue.
Hold on a minute. There are 3 important, brilliant, and complicated reasons why you should listen to me. 1.
Stay classy, Devin. Stay classy. Again, also not to mention the hit pieces against, once again, James Rolfe. Even eliminating the whole sexism argument, even ignoring that whole argument there. Why? What the hell did he do to offend you so much? This whole thing goes for both sides, by the way. Patton Oswalt, for instance, made some tweets there. He was kind of critical of the AVGN video, but nothing super over the top or offensive. And, well, guess what the denizens of Twitter had in store for him? Yep, insults about his recently dead wife. Wow. Wow. What? Nothing? Gee, the bullshit on that one must have been so high that I actually broke the circuits. Seriously, doesn't this go without saying? Don't be assholes. Number 2. Take opinions at face value. Kind of a cheat since this sort of ties into what I had before, but people really tend to read a lot into other people's opinions here, and like claiming someone is sexist or a man-child or whatever for airing their negative opinions on the film. On the other side, no, sorry, the whole feminist argument is really all over this one. Kind of a dick move, really. Again.
I'm Sir Doctor of TARDIS, and this is my companion, Miss Martha Jones.
Interesting.
Oh, good. It's back online. And I really hate this. I mean, it's incredibly presumptuous to read something into the opinion of someone you have no idea who it is, and you've never met before in your life, and just to think that you know them better than they do somehow. I mean, you can have your suspicions, but that's kind of different. Why does that trump what people actually say, you know? When someone says they're excited for the trailer because of XYZ, or someone says they hate the trailer because of XYZ, why don't we just believe that's what they really feel and take it at face value? And, well, nothing more, nothing less, you know? The number one thing people have to keep in mind over this whole Ghostbusters controversy, everyone remember, it's just a movie. It's easy to say, but it bears repeating. It's just a movie. Yeah, it's a remake of a classic comedy, and you don't want its legacy stained by a remake that you think will look bad. Though, apparently a shitty sequel is okay. And because of that, you have a lot of emotional investment in the franchise. You want to see it done right or not at all. I get it. But remember, the success or failure of this film has no impact on the original. Your DVDs are not going to disappear, your memories are not going to fade away, the quality of the movie is not going to change. The great first film will always be with you, and this movie is not going to change anything about that. But the film and its surrounding reaction is not a microcosm for the patriarchy, or a battleground on which to fight the perceived microaggressions of the sexist society on which we live, or the toxicity of geek culture. You're needlessly putting people on the defensive here. Really try to understand the side from which they are coming. Yes, there is subconscious sexism, but this volatile atmosphere is not the place to address the issue. You're only pushing people back on their heels here. Movies can be great. They can be entertaining, they can be inspiring, even some of them can change the world. But this whole explosion is not doing anyone any good. In fact, I think we might have slightly devolved. Let's talk about this stuff, but let's do it without the nastiness, please. I think we're better than that. Anyway, there you go. That wraps up the top 5 reasons why everyone needs to chill out about the Ghostbusters movie. This is Hawk Blaine, geek of all trades, fanboy of none, and saying farewell until next time when we can talk everything geek. Finally done. Anyway, there you go. So, what do you think? Wait, kidding me? The trailers look like ass.